Oh dear lord, Games Workshop have just shown off a bunch more Space Wolf stuff, including Logan Grimnar, Arjac Rockfist, and what's-his-face the Stormcaller, whose name I can never remember, plus new Terminators. This is going to be a quick video, a quick recording, because I'm recording Adeptus Ridiculous in like an hour, so we'd better get a move on. What the hell is happening? I'm just going to say it right now, by the way. This new Logan Grimnar, absolutely solid, ridiculous, so good. Look, here we go. Logan Grimnar leads a pack of Space Wolf reinforcements. In between all of the reveals being shown off at Adepticon back in March, the Space Wolves wowed the crowd. I mean, it was actually a very good update. I did enjoy it quite a lot. With a dazzling army set packed full of brand new miniatures. Those Sons of Fenris have never been ones to do things by half measure though, so it becomes no surprise to anyone that they've got even more miniatures to show off. I mean, I knew there'd be more, and I was hoping for a new Logan Grimnar. Just to remind you, by the way, before we get to the new lad, this is the current version. God, it's so stupid. I don't know that I've ever got used to this. I don't know that I've ever got used to it. I do know that for a while there, I was considering picking up Space Wolves again because I love my 13th company so much, and then I never quite got round to it, and I'm not going to lie, this had something to do with that, in a way, because... oh, why? But this new Logan Grimnar? I mean, first of all, it already looks solid, just from the teeny tiny picture. What an update. What a glow up. Yes, there is a massive tactical rock. I don't care. I don't care that there's a massive tactical rock. That is so good. So good. He looks so imposing. So menacing, completely implacable, like a proper ancient grizzled warrior just striding forth. Well, maybe not properly striding right now, because if he strides too far, he'll fall off the rock he's standing on. But you get what I mean. The tonal difference between this and that is absolutely mental. Like, it may as well be two different characters. The shift between whatever the hell this is and that is absolutely massive. And I have to say, I vastly prefer this new one. I would be lying if I said, yeah, no, actually, I wish they kept Santa's sleigh. No, I'm afraid I don't wish that. That is so good. The Terminator armour looks great, as it would, because it's Terminator armour. His head looks fantastic. The braided beard slash... I mean, I guess it's closer to the moustache being braided than anything else, but like that single braid of hair as well that comes down. Just the expression. I mean, admittedly, it helps that this has been painted super incredibly well, which is something that I would not be able to achieve, but that has just got like ancient grizzled warrior written all over it. It looks fantastic. The axe looks great, really like the axe. The armour, whilst ornamented, isn't all that excessive, really. You've got that larger belt around the midriff, you've got a few kind of like... you've got like a little skull, you've got a couple of fangs and the like, but it's not like festooned with stuff. He's not massively overloaded with extra detail, and the extra detail that he has is very thematic and kind of on point for who he is and the chapter that he is, you know, the leader of. I really like this. I like how consistent the scaling is in terms of the cloak that he's got. So that big wolf pelt with the wolf's head on top. Super consistent with the size of the wolves at his side. I probably could have phrased that slightly better, but whatever. Because let's face it, sometimes there will be the occasional model where someone's got a cloak or a pelt of something, and the thing they have a pelt of or a cloak of is also with them, and it just looks like it's slightly different sizing, which does make sense if it's like older or younger, but there's also something nice about just consistency, you know? Especially when it's in this kind of close proximity, I like that there is a direct analogue between what he's wearing and the two massive wolves at his side. It's just kind of fun for me. The rock is maybe a little bit excessive. It's maybe a bit big, and it does kind of fall straight back onto that thing of, how do we elevate a character? How do you make someone stand, I was going to say head and shoulders above the rest, but he is considerably taller than head and shoulders above the rest standing on that thing. It does feel like a lot of the time the easy way to do it is to just stick a big rock on the base, which is fine, and it's a method I've used myself, but I think I think it might have been nice to have something else on there, but the problem is then you get into the whole thing of, well, if you do like a planet-specific thing or like a scenery-specific thing, that then does not match everything that people play on when it comes to the tabletops they choose and the terrain that they choose. So I know why they do it, and it does work, and in this instance, I'm not actually that bothered. It would just be nice to see something a little different, but I get why they've gone this way for this character. Anyway, looks great. Looks absolutely fantastic. We've also got a sort of side view. I mean, look at that. All the carvings, like the runes and stuff carved into the inside of the pelt, that's great. That looks awesome. The scaling is definitely different. Like, there's no two ways about it. When you look at the front and at the side, he is maybe a little bit hunched forward slightly with the posing that he's got. But clearly that Terminator armour is quite a bit bigger than the old Terminator armour. But that's all good. Don't have a problem with that. Upscale Terminators, I'm 100% on board. Makes them look more imposing, more accurate to what I feel like they should be on the tabletop. Not a complaint at all. So yeah, he's got his Wolves, Tyrnak and Fenrir, and he's also carrying Morkai, which is the axe. This looks so good. And as if that wasn't enough, we've also got Arjac Rockfist, who looks incredible as well. I mean, just look at that. Again, super solid when it comes to updates. This is the current Arjac, and honestly, I've always felt this model looks pretty good. I've never really had a problem with this one. He looks, I mean, his face is a bit rough, but the armour looks really good. I kind of like the amount of decoration and the practical elements that have gone into it. The little kind of ornamental anvil on the armour, kind of cute, not going to lie. But he is getting on a little bit now. Like, he doesn't look bad, but he is starting to look a bit dated. This newer, updated version, I mean, they've stuck really closely to it. Really closely. He looks great. The shield is pretty much the same. The armour is pretty much the same. I like the battle damage that's been incorporated into it. That's a very nice touch. And they've kept the little anvil, but they've integrated it into an iron halo. Again, fantastic. I mean, overall, I think that's a very nice update to what was already a good model, like, theme-wise. They've stuck with it. If it's anything, like, if anything, it's a little bit like, there are a few bits that feel a bit less busy, but then I think that space is then taken up by a bit more wear and tear on the armour itself, which I do quite like. Like, the overall clutter is less, just a bit less, but it's been replaced with a bit more, like, storytelling. Plus, it very much looks like you can have him either holding the hammer or lobbing the hammer. His head looks infinitely better, by the way. But yeah, I really like the two poses there. Now, it's important to note that there's a reason that he's throwing his hammer away. If you're not familiar, his hammer is called Faux Hammer. Bit on the nose, but that's fine. And he can chuck it, and then it teleports back to him. So, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool. And having that throwing pose is lovely. That's great. Love that. Next up, we've got Njal Stormcaller. That's the guy whose name I can never remember. I can remember the Stormcaller bit, but I can never remember his first name, which is a little bit harsh. Rune Priest, absolutely hardcore. Comes with his own weird Cyber Crow thing, Cyber Raven, and again, very, very nice model. And a nice update to an existing model. So this is the existing one. Good grief, that's a significant shift actually, isn't it? Wow, I'd kind of forgotten what he looks like currently. But, I mean, the old one, again, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. But I am liking this update. The pose is quite a bit different, but I really like the colours they've used there. That's very nice. But it feels a lot more in action, and it feels a lot more heroic than the old one does. Again, he's looking pretty chunky. This time round, though, for this one, no Terminator armour. So I believe previously he was available in Terminator armour and not in Terminator armour. It would appear for this update he is back in non-Terminator armour form. I don't know if those two versions were ever available at the same time, actually. I can't remember off the top of my head. But we have a similar amount of decoration. There's a similar amount of kind of runic carvings and the like. I do like that pose a lot. The pose is cool. I especially like how big the staff is now. The staff is absolutely massive, but it feels very, very appropriate for the model. And his little bird companion there, little, it's massive. It's like the size of a normal human. He looks good. He looks decent. I like the sort of cyber details going on. What are they called? Like the cybernetic parts up on the wings and stuff, and the fact he's got a little laser instead of an eye, or a lens instead of an eye. Fantastic, love that. We've got a little bit of movement on the base as well, those little stones kind of floating around. We've seen a few models now, which I do like as a way of showing a bit of psychic power, a bit of psychic action. That's very cool. He does feel a bit busy, but I don't know if he actually is or not. Also, we've got a nice uniformity of movement. He's got a nice pelt there, and it's sweeping off to the side, but then so is the bit hanging down in front of his legs, so is his hair as well. We've got those kind of wolf tail plumes or talismans. They're also shifting that way, so that's quite nice. It kind of makes it look like the bird has just caused a small gust of wind by flapping and is taking off, and that's what's causing all the movement. I doubt that's the case. It's probably some sort of psychic magic nonsense, but still. Yeah, I like that. I like that. They're doing a good job here. They're doing a good job. And finally, we've got new Wolf Guard in Terminator armor, and oh, they look so nice. I'm loving it. I'm loving these. Absolutely top tier. A lot of bare heads, but the Space Wolves, they do like that, which, that's fine. I have to admit, if I were to ever pick these up, which I is kind of increasingly likely, because I'd really like to see all this stuff painted up in kind of Heresy Space Wolves colours, because I think that would look really cool. And, I mean, I might as well do it myself if I'm going to say that it's going to look good. I mean, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. These look great. These do look great. I don't know if they'll come with all helmets or not. It seems unlikely, even if that would be my preference. But frankly, there are other Terminator helmets out there, and I've got a 3D printer. So, there's options out there. But overall, they look good. The scaling is better because they're new. That guy's head, I'm absolutely on board with that. His head can stay. That looks great. The weapons look fantastic. Like, the axe looks really good. I do like that big pelt with the skull rather than the head. Makes it look super threatening. Like, that guy looks like a proper barbarian. Mind you, so does he. I mean, they all sort of do. That's kind of the point, but they're just hitting the spot. They're just hitting the spot. And I think it's because there are big sections of, clean armour, but at the same time, you've got all this instantly recognisable Space Wolf stuff going on. From the Crux Terminators on the one shoulder, having the wolf skull instead of the standard skull, down to the wolf tail talismans. They've all got these individual belts. There's enough on here that you know exactly who, which chapter these guys belong to, but it's not obscuring the overall silhouette of the model. It's not making it insanely busy. This feels like the right balance of the kind of more clean approach that Games Workshop seems to have gone for a lot of the Primaris scale stuff, and frankly what I kind of want to see from the existing established and important chapters, the ones that had their own codexes, that have their own supplements. And obviously this is the latest in a trend of them doing this kind of thing. When you look at the Black Templars, the Dark Angels and stuff, there's been plenty of chapter specific iconography which has worked super well. I'm glad they're just fully embracing it, and they are, bringing other things up to date in a way that feels suitable and that feels just right for the chapter in question, And if you want to know what the Pack Leader looks like with lightning claws as opposed to the big axe and the shield, it looks like this, and it looks absolutely solid. I feel like the overall star, the overall thing that has struck me as being the biggest kind of glow up out of all of this stuff, it's got to be Logan Grimnar. Just the attitude change alone between this and that is insane. It's so cool to see. This feels serious, which I never thought I'd say about Logan Grimnar again. And it's one of the things that in some ways I think it feels like Space Wolves can be lacking sometimes, because there is such an emphasis on the wolf stuff, and for a little while there Games Workshop were allowing you to have a wolf lord with wolf cloak and wolf claws with the talisman of the wolf riding a wolf, and it's okay, we get it. We fully understand the wolf side of things. Could we perhaps dial it back a little bit so that they don't seem like a parody of themselves? That doesn't feel like it's not a parody of itself. It just feels very, very silly, but not in the way that I enjoy my 40k being silly, to be honest. Whereas this actually looks serious. This looks dangerous. This looks like someone who will cut you in half instantly because you are in the way. And whether or not that's in character for Logan Grimnar in like a political or social setting is one thing, but when he's leading your army of basically Vikings in space with other stuff as well, you kind of want someone, or at least I want someone who looks huge and menacing and like a threat to everything around him. That version of Logan didn't fit that for me. This version absolutely does. So there you go. Bunch of new Space Wolf stuff. It all looks solid. I think they're doing an absolutely grand job with this lot, and it's actually reigniting my kind of... I mean, I had 13th Company. I loved 13th Company. They felt more feral and more like extreme and out there when they were a thing that you could collect as like a supplement as part of the Codex Eye of Terror. And I never went back to Space Wolves after they were sort of ditched. This is reigniting that. This is actually making me want to play Space Wolves again. And I've not felt like that for a long, long, long time. I mean, God, when was Codex Eye of Terror? I don't want to think about it. I'll crumble into dust. They're doing a good job here. I think they're doing a good job. But that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things. Patreon, membership, all that stuff. There's some stuff for members and patrons coming hopefully before the end of the week, so look out for that. And yeah, I'm going to go and edit this very quickly because it's not long until I've got to record all over again. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.